All right, guys, good morning. How's everyone doing? Wednesday, pretty important day here. We got the FOMC minutes that we'll be releasing today. I think we just got, 1 second, we got a little bit, I think there's some kind of news coming out this morning around, building permits, housing starts not really 8:30. I guess we'll keep an eye on that for any type of real estate, but the big one is at 2 o'clock today. So 2 o'clock today, we have FOMC minutes, which will release. We get to hear a little bit more about what the Fed's thinking, what's going on. China stocks, okay, it's a good point, actually, Quentin. I didn't even notice that. Sorry to get off topic, but I actually do want to see that real quick. Yeah, it was slightly green yesterday. Yeah, nice. About a 0.5% yesterday. So I don't know. We'll see if that has any correlation. But anyways, so today, big day. We have the FOMC. We'll see how the market reacts. It's going to be volatile. It's going to probably invalidate a lot of what you might be looking at. It's really just going to, I think it's going to go, either really well, or you're going to get some pretty concerning downside. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to know what to expect. All I know is that, you want to expect some volatility. You don't want to be going into this with big plays. You don't want to be going into this with, money you can't afford to lose on the line. That's really all that I would say. Besides that, we're just gonna have to see what they, how dovish they are, how hawkish they are, depending on what they are looking at and what they decide. So we shall see. That's at 2 o'clock. That's at least what my calendar says. 2 o'clock is when it comes out, and we'll have to be here ready to see what the reaction is. They're usually with stuff like this, there'll be most likely two sets of reactions. So when this happens, remember this. Usually there's one big move to one direction, and then you get the next move is either another move higher, and that sort of solidifies that move, or you get that quick move higher and then a quick dump back lower. It's never one move and it continues. There's always sort of like a seesaw, whipsaw pattern that comes out during this time, during any big economic news, because it's just a lot of people digesting what's going on. So it's going to be volatile. It's going to be interesting to see where we go. And there's definitely some things to be aware of. If you want, go watch my video yesterday. I reviewed some stuff that's slightly, I don't want to say it's too concerning, but it's definitely something to be, to take consideration of, on the Nasdaq, on the SPY as well. So yeah, I'll be live in the Discord for that. I'll probably jump back on, Quentin. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the schedule today. I'm gonna go pretty quick today because I don't want to go too in depth today, because if I spend a lot of time on all this and it's just a total waste because of 2 o'clock, I don't want us to get too. Today's not the day to get too married to your analysis, because there's a big economic news coming out, and that that analysis that you may do may be invalidated from this macroeconomic news. So you don't want to do too much technical analysis. You don't want to trust your technicals too much today, because at 2 o'clock there is a big volatility event. So you can't just go in saying I trust this level and I don't care what the Fed has to say. That's irrational. That you can't do that. So we're gonna go quick today. I don't want us to get too married to any of this analysis, because at 2 o'clock, a lot of things can change. So futures, Nasdaq, S&P, Dow. Of course, you want to know where they are, what to expect, so we'll go over those. We'll go over the three earnings plays: Target, Lowe's, and Nvidia. Target and Lowe's, it says encoding overload on my OBS. I've never seen that before. I think my bit rate might be too high. It looks pretty good though. I'll have to experiment it another time. I think my bit rate's a little high. Anyways, Target, Lowe's reporting earnings this morning, and then you have Nvidia after hours today. So some big earnings on top of this 2 o'clock FOMC minutes, which is the next topic there. We'll sort of just throw that in with the review, with the futures review. So nothing too crazy. You guys know what to expect, how it works. If you don't, just go on Google, type in FOMC minutes. It's very easy. Next, Netflix. Yesterday, Netflix did very well. Definitely outperformed the Nasdaq. Definitely did held its own and held a 515 level. It's still holding this 515 level that we've been looking at for months. So let's go over Netflix today. I want to show you Shopify. Very interesting support on Shopify. The bullish confirmation section. This right here. This is we're gonna talk a little bit about the importance of waiting for some bullish confirmation, and especially not only on the stock you're looking at, but also on the market itself. And this is PayPal. So PayPal, we came on yesterday talking about how good of an opportunity it could be, but the bullish confirmation was never there. We were just sort of watching, waiting, seeing if this could work out. And yesterday, with the weakness on the Nasdaq, it clearly took a turn for the worse. So I want to show you PayPal, show you the importance of maybe waiting a little bit for some confirmation, and how a little bit of patience, even though you may miss some of the move, could give you better insight. Next, Tesla trend line. We'll look at that, and then we'll talk about my Facebook trade, which is right now not doing too great because of the weakness on the tech market. And then finally, we'll go to some of the stocks that you guys want to look at. So as of right now, I think I have as many as I can take. It's Roku, Roblox, Waters, WAT, SoFi, mRNA, and Apple. So we'll look at those. That's 6 names. That's probably going to be about it. So let's go ahead and start this. Let's get into the Nasdaq. If you could press that like button, I'd appreciate that. All right. So daily chart, Nasdaq. Yesterday, we got below the 20 SMA. Don't love to see that. So at this point today, we need to see if we can get back above. Right now, it's at 15,038. We are back above 15,000 on the Nasdaq, which is nice to see. That is a good psychological level. But 15,000. What is this? 15,038, 15,040. That's where I want to see us get back above today. So about 40 points higher, back above that 20, reclaim it, and see what we can do from that point. If at 40 points is pretty easy, especially if the Fed says something that the market likes. So we'll have to see. Now, if we can't get back above that 20, if we reject it here today, then that's slightly concerning, because that would be making lower highs and potentially lower lows. So you can see here on the Nasdaq, this is the 4-hour chart. Definitely some heavy resistance up top here. Not having a lot of trouble up here at 15,130. So you can see almost a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. More, you can just call this a triple top, depending on how detailed you want to be. Either way, all I know is it's resistance. So resistance is clearly there. In the recent trend, we've been starting to make some lower highs, and we're starting to make some lower lows. You guys can see here. Look at these lower lows that have formed. We're starting to move down slightly. Now, if we can't push back above that 20 and maybe push back towards this 15,130 over the next few days, I'm starting to see maybe lower highs, lower lows starting to form here on the Nasdaq. We're starting to lose a little bit of steam off this top here. So it's interesting. I mean, I'm not giving up hope. I'm not saying that we're just gonna fall here. We definitely still have some previous demand zones in this area, right? So you have previous demand in this area right here. You have some previous support in this area right here. You can see that from these lows here. You can see that from this high, and you have these highs. You have all of this support that came in here, and also right back here. So, we're still definitely holding this support here on the Nasdaq. This 14,930 still holding very well. So we don't want to discount that. The support is still there. And then if we come even lower, we have some really solid support down by 14,800, 14,850. You don't want to discount that support either. So it's definitely down below to hold us up. But, it's definitely clear that we're starting to stall just a little bit here on the Nasdaq. A little bit of a top, not a trend like this anymore. It's starting to sort of the slope of a line. If you guys went to middle school or high school and you learned about what is that, y equals mx plus b? Is that slope? I think so. No. I sound like an idiot right now because I don't know the equation of a slope. Now I need to know it. Oh, rise over run. That's right. Rise over run. I remember that. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. You guys remember that? That slope? I don't think it is. Yeah, that's the line equation. That's right. Y equals mx plus b. Oh, it is slope intercept. Huh. I was right. Slope intercept. Look at me go. But yeah, if you take the y equals mx plus b of this line here, it's clearly less than what it was here, right? So if you wanna get all technical. But yeah, anyways, guys, a little bit of a slowdown, and that is also sort of why you're starting to see that divergence that I talked about in my video yesterday. So you're having lower highs here on the RSI, and you're having higher highs here on the market. Yeah, so we'll see, guys. We'll see the reason I don't want to get too into this is because, whatever the Fed says here, it's going to do whatever it wants. Like, I could think that we're going to hold up here because of some technical support, but if the Fed says, we're starting to taper tomorrow, then this thing's going down. Yeah, so RSI, some bearish divergence, definitely slowing down up here, and that is what I will leave you with here on the Nasdaq, and you'll have to use your own judgment to interpret, how to play that. Maybe you take some protection. So next, Dow. The Dow, we talked about this all I think earlier this week as well as last week. We talked about how the Dow is starting to diverge past the 20 SMA. It's starting to move higher. It's starting to get away from the 20. It's starting to make a gap below. Now you can see what happened. As soon as we started to get that gap, we got that pullback to the 20 SMA. So that's exactly what we were waiting for. Very nice. Pullback to the 20. Found a little bit of support yesterday. All that I'd be watching is that 20 today. See if that thing can hold. Also this support right here, which is coming in right at the 20. So that is the level to watch. 35, right around 35,000, 35,060. 20 SMA, previous support or previous resistance. Want to see that turn into support. That is what I'd watch. Of course, the FOMC minutes could change all of that. So just keep that in mind. Next, ES. We talked about how the ES was getting away from the 20 as well, right? We talked about how this thing was starting to move higher. We're starting to create a gap below from where the 20 is. So you guys will know over the past, every single time the ES has gapped up from the 20, eventually you get that pullback to it. So you can see we started to move higher. We got the pullback to the 20, and we got some support. So very nice on the ES. That support is also coming in right where previous highs are, right here around 4,400. So the ES and the Dow look very similar. You have previous resistance, going to turn into support here potentially, bouncing off the 20, and see if we can get that push higher. So that would be the levels to watch here on the ES, right around 4,400. And then on the Dow, it's very similar. You can see that same previous highs turning into support here at the 20 SMA. So watch those levels today. Of course, the Fed is going to be, most important, like I continue to say. Excuse me. Yawning. TGT. All right, let's go over some earnings plays that happened yesterday. So number one is TGT, and that is Target. The one thing I'll say is Target is crazy extended. I don't know if this is overextended in anyone's mind. I don't know if it's fair value, but I do know that Target is up. Target's up of almost 86% in a year, And that's pretty good for Target. I mean, this year alone, we're up about 54% this year alone. So awesome trend, pretty damn consistent, which I'll give it to it. This is a very consistent trend. Held the 20s every time we pulled back to the 20 here since March of the virus. Ever since we got off that low, we got very nice pull. Actually, no, that's not the virus. I take that back, guys. Sorry. Where's the virus at? It's back here. This is it. So this is just another March dip. This is it right back here. So dip. This is actually the weekly chart. So nice weekly chart to the 20 SMA. That's pretty clean. But anyways, daily chart. Nice dip there. Bouncing off of it. And ever since then, we've held that 20. You had a nice bounce here. You got a nice bounce over here. You got a nice bounce up here. But now, what you'll notice is we're starting to break that trend. So on earnings, we're starting to drop below that trend line here. What's going to happen here? We'll have to see what happens. This is definitely something to keep an eye out for. The green EMA is the 100. 100 SMA, it's an SMA. It's a simple moving average, not exponential. So 100 SMA, 50 SMA, 20 SMA. This is a great example of how these SMAs fan out and become very strong. Look at what you guys will notice is after this little mess here, once they started to fan out, once that 20 started to get above the 50 and fanned out very nicely, very consistent gapping between each moving average, that's when they get really strong. You can see that here on the daily chart. So that's really nice. But on the hourly, actually, let's go to the 4 hour. You guys will notice that we definitely had a nice little pullback here. Nice little pullback here on Target. Where do we come back to? I don't know for sure just yet. I definitely would be watching these lows here. It looks like we did find support here around 248. These lows from this level. After that, I think the strong one would be back to 236, but I don't know if we get back to 236. So right now, I'd be watching 248s. That's for sure. 248s. It looks like we did start to bounce off the 248s. And if we really get some move lower, maybe you watch the 236s. But if we can get a nice little bounce off this 248, maybe pull back and then we start to bounce off this 248, that would be great. I would definitely be watching that on Target. Where does that come in on the weekly chart? The weekly chart, the 20 SMA on the weekly, the last time we got a pullback was back in March of this year. If we get another pullback to that 20, that's back down to that 236 level, which is right here where this previous high is. So 236, right back to here, on this deeper pullback would be a great opportunity because look at where that comes in on the weekly chart. That would be a very strong hold there. So we'll see. Can Target pull back to this 236? Can it present us a buying opportunity? That's what I'd be looking at. Keep an eye on Target. They reported earnings this morning. Or was it yesterday? This morning. So the earnings reaction this morning on the 1 minute. Here it is. Dip lower. Support here at 248. Starting to hold it. All right. Next is Lowe's. Yeah, sorry guys if you can hear me making noises. I know that's probably gross. Daily chart on Lowe's. Good morning, GT Vine. How you doing, buddy? So Lowe's, we had Home Depot, and Home Depot moved lower on earnings, right? This is actually pretty interesting, this Home Depot chart, now that I look at it. Look at this Home Depot dip. Right back to the 100 SMA. That's pretty nice. Right here on Home Depot. You can see pullback 100 SMA right here at 320. Nice hold there actually on Home Depot. Let's see if that holds up. After that, we have Lowe's here. Lowe's reported earnings this morning and is actually moving higher on earnings. Now, you can see that red candle. That is because of Home Depot yesterday. So if we go to the 5-day, 5-minute, here is the reaction to Home Depot's earnings on Lowe's. So it's a sympathy play here on Lowe's. move lower. You sort of grinded lower through the rest of the day on lows. Now today, nice push higher. If we go to live news, we can see same store sales were down. What else? EPS beat estimates, sales beat estimates. We did pretty good. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just yawning a lot today. So nice push higher here on the Nasdaq. I'm sorry, on Lowe's. You can see yesterday it definitely took a little bit of a beating because of Home Depot. We're up to 190 now, so we're back right around this area here, right back to where we started here at 190. If you go to the 4-hour, we can see that a little bit more clear. So you can see Lowe's holding up at this level, right around this 186, and a nice push up on earnings. So we'll see. I think most important would be to break this. Most important would be to break this 196 area. That would be probably most important right here. See if we can get above this 196 right here. Home Depot and Lowe's are overbought. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what you feel about the housing. I mean, the housing market has definitely been helping. They're beating estimates still. So we'll see. I mean, Home Depot, I know one thing. I've been at Home Depot more than I've never been in the last year. It's just, I don't know. I think, I guess it depends on a lot of different factors, but you catch the pullbacks, you look for any plays that you can. That's sort of what I've been doing, and I just been investing in it long term. If it pulls back, I buy more. Home Depot, I think, is a great company. It definitely can pull back. I mean, it's up quite a bit. Maybe it pulls back to this 292 level over time, right here. That would be a very nice pullback to 292 on Home Depot. I would love that. And then you'd be able to buy it off that previous resistance. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. So that's Home Depot. That's that's Lowe's. That's Target. Let's go over Nvidia real quick. Let's go to the daily chart. Daily chart on Nvidia, and we'll talk about how this play just did not work out. First of all, for the play I was looking at. It was looking really good to me, and we just totally failed with the Nasdaq. So you guys know, if you watch my channel, I took a play off this 20 SMA here. So I was looking for the bounce here off the 20 SMA, right here. We were getting a nice move on the Nasdaq, and we were getting a break of this downtrend, and we were getting a hold of this 20, which also correlated back to some support right in this area. So I was happy with this entry. It was looking really good, up nicely, and then yesterday Monday happened. Monday, really ugly day on Nvidia, just totally rejected this breakout, and I sold out. I took about $100 loss there on Monday, and then yesterday on Tuesday just continued that downtrend. So, this is an example of just the move just not working out. I mean, this is why this right here, this last 4 days, is why you go into trades with risk management. Because if you went into this trade with too much money, this is account killing. But if I can lose $100 on a move like that, then I'm totally fine. That's why risk management is so important. Because you're gonna get trades that do this. This was looking so good to me. I mean, I liked everything about this trade. I liked the hold. I liked the 20 SMA. I liked the downtrend breakout. I love the daily candle, the green daily candle that pushed through that downtrend. It was looking very, very good. But, you can't always be right. Nothing always works out perfectly. And you'll see, look at the reaction in these last 2 days. So, very ugly. Probably partially due to earnings approaching. That's probably the problem that, that caused this. Just a little bit of timidness, I guess you would say, near earnings. So, we'll see. But next is earnings coming up. So we shall see, guys. We'll see what earnings does. The expected move on Nvidia is Ben. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. Yeah. If you're in the Discord chat, I guess you would know that. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. Nvidia 9.3 expected move. So a little bit less than 5%. 5% would be about 10. So a little bit less than 5% expected move on Nvidia. Very nice. So right now we're at that 50 SMA. You guys can see that right there. So $9 from here would be right back to around 180, 185. That would bring us down to around here, and then up to the upside, it would bring us to 204 area, 205. Thanks, Pedro. Pedro might be the top supporter. I appreciate everything you do, Pedro. Always liking first, commenting first, coming to the live streams. Thank you so much, man. And if you need anything, let me know. So nice push here, or a nice support here at 50 SMA on Nvidia. Here's your expected move, $9 to either direction. Well, we'll see what happens here. But as of right now, Nvidia's sort of sideways, and we'll have to see where it wants to go. Volume's definitely been dying off in the last few days. You'll see that right here. Look at that volume die off. So let's see what happens. I'm not playing Nvidia for earnings. I'm gonna wait to see what this thing does. That's definitely gonna definitely wait to see what happens. All right, so FOMC, we know that's coming out. Let's go ahead and jump into Netflix real quick, and thank you guys for the donations. It's very kind. Here's Netflix. We know in the grand scheme of things, this is a very sideways chart. Really nothing going on here. I mean, Netflix shareholders are, they're not having too much fun over the last few years. Let me go to the weekly chart. So that's just crazy. Since July 6th of 2020, this thing just has not done anything. It's just been so sideways. This channel has really been really well defined. So this should be interesting. It'll be interesting to see when we finally jump out of this channel, what happens. Now, what I've been looking at is this hold here on Netflix. So a nice hold here on Netflix, right around this 514 level. You guys can see you have that gap down, the hold, and the nice hold here around 514, 515. Yesterday, even when the Nasdaq was going down, Netflix was holding this support zone all day, and it pushed almost to highs towards end of day. So very nice hold on Netflix, and I'm definitely going to be watching this level. Let me go back to the daily chart. I'm definitely interested in watching this level here, and I would keep this on your charts too. Quentin, that's not necessary, Quentin. Thank you, man. $20. I must have made you some decent money to be sending me $20. Thank you, Quentin. Appreciate that, man. So nice hold here on Netflix. 1, 2, 3, 4, quadruple bottom here at 510. I think it's just going to continue to bottom here at 510. It's probably just going to create a channel here. But I'm waiting to see how this thing does and if it can break out of this top and do a little bit of a break and retest. That is what I'm waiting for on Netflix. That's what I will be watching. Right there on Netflix. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that Netflix. I think this is a secret silent play that will eventually work out. So just wait for the confirmation. Don't rush into this thing. Wait to see how it does over 525. Can it break through? Can it retest? That's what I'll be looking at. Shopify. Daily chart. So Shopify is creating somewhat of a channel itself. Now, it's holding these previous highs right around 1460. You guys can see that back here, and it is holding. You could run an iron condor on Netflix there if you want. It's not a bad idea. You can run a condor for this range. It's not a terrible idea if you think it stays between. But back into Shop. So Shop 1460, holding their previous highs, holding really nice support, and you are back into that support right now. It's the 50 SMA. It's this support. The last time we fell back into this support, we've gotten some nice moves. So keep an eye on Shop here. Obviously, the most important thing is going to be the tech sector. See how the tech sector does. If the tech sector wakes up, if the Nasdaq pushes through highs, then this could be a nice move on Shop. A very nice move. So keep an eye on Shop. I like where it's pulling back to 1460, 50 SMA. Just wait for some confirmation across the market and see if Shop gets any move off of it. That's what I'd be watching. All right, PayPal is another example of that bullish confirmation. And here is one where if you were to enter PayPal, I didn't get into it, I was waiting, but if you were to enter PayPal a little bit too early, you get really badly turned on. So you can see PayPal has come back nicely. We've talked about this chart, the little double bottom that formed, a nice little hold here, nice little push higher on this green candle. Now, this doesn't really confirm much, this green candle, because you're still sort of in this choppiness, right? This isn't an engulfing green candle. Ideally, you want to see this move engulf, right? You want to see this little choppiness here engulf. You don't want it to move within this, right? You can see this choppy movement. You want it to engulf that movement and maybe retest and hold it as support. That's the bullish confirmation that I like to see. That gives me a little bit more confidence that we'll actually get a move that I'm looking at, right? You also have the 20 and the 50 above as resistance. Now, if you were to jump in PayPal on this green candle, you can obviously see what happened here yesterday. Now, of course, this move could be very much just correlated to the Nasdaq weakness, the tech weakness. So could PayPal recover? Absolutely. Could it hold that 100 SMA, which it is now at? That could happen as well. So we'll see. Either way, PayPal still sort of downtrending here, not really giving me any bullish confirmation. However, this is still a play that I am watching and seeing if it can hold up. So that's PayPal. Next is Facebook. So Facebook is another example like Nvidia of the play just sort of failing on me here. I'm not scared to admit it because I know the setup was right. I know that other people would have taken the same trade. I'm not scared to admit that I was wrong here because I'm not just taking blind trades like I don't know what I'm doing. This was a very nice pullback to the 20 SMA, a very nice break of a downtrend, really, really clean. You guys can see that hold right here. Over the last 3 days here before yesterday, we were up beautifully. The only thing that I regret that I could have done better for this trade, even though it's not over yet, was to lock in some profits on Monday. Monday was a beautiful day. It was up 100%. I was looking for more. I thought that this break above 365 was going to unleash this move, personally. When I saw this thing break above 365 on Monday, I thought, okay, this is the start of the move. I'm liking this breakout. If you were to ignore that red candle, you can see like right there. Let's just ignore that red candle here. You can see that this started to push above 365, and I thought, okay, we're starting to get this move back towards maybe to fill this gap up towards 370s. Obviously, the market had different idea yesterday, and look at this just nasty total, just total FU candle. That's what I like to call it. That came in here on Facebook. So there's nothing you can do about that, man. This trade was looking great. Everything about it was looking good to me, but the market just had a different idea yesterday, and that is what happens sometimes. So, you can't let those types of plays, the ones that just sort of screw you because the market just is weak, you can't let those take you out of the game, and you can't let it discourage you because I would probably say 7 out of 10 times. I'm not going to say 9 out of 10 because that's not true in trading. I'm going to say maybe 6 or 7 out of 10 times this play continues. This play continues. You get a beautiful move off a 20 SMA bounce, very much like this one. You guys can see right here. That's a 20 SMA bounce. Look at that continuation move. Very clean. I'm sure I can find more of them for you here. Let's see. 20 SMA bounce, very big move. Nice pullback, nice move. Pullback, maybe to the 50, nice move. So this one was just a, pullback to the 20, a nice move, and just a total, FU, right in my face, right? But, you get into risk management and you lose the money that you're willing to lose. And that's sort of how this sort of worked out for me on Facebook. Am I closing it today? No. The reason I'm not closing Facebook and the reason I still haven't closed it is because if you look at the demand zone that I am watching here on the 4-hour, right here, right there, 1, 2, 3, nice hold. We are still holding that. You're still definitely holding this level here on Facebook. Now, would I have liked for this move to just continue higher? Absolutely. Definitely would have rather have seen this. We did pull back, but we are holding this area still. This area is still, valid, and it moved above it this morning. So I'm holding. I'm waiting to see if we hold this area. If yesterday was a big overreaction, then so be it. Then I'll be able to hold through this. Of course, my short expiration is not gonna come back much, but I do have some later expirations as well. So we'll see. That's my look on Facebook. We'll see if that thing can come back. But yesterday was just a really bad day, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's not a day that I don't panic sell on a day like that, especially not when it's still holding up in my area. So that's Facebook. Now let's go ahead and jump into some of the stuff that you guys want to look at. And let's go ahead and start with Roku. Now, while I'm doing this, if you could, casually scroll down and press that like button, that would be fantastic. If you're enjoying the stream, that would really help out the stream, help out my channel, just help out this get to more people. And hopefully one day we can get above, I think our high is around 700 viewers. So hopefully we can eventually grow this thing to maybe, 1,000 would be sweet. So if you guys know anyone that could benefit from the stream, make sure to reach out and let them know to come hang out in the morning. That'd be great. So let's go ahead and jump into Roku, and that is not here. There's Roku. Mr. TNT, Abby, yeah, any of the members that said anything. Sorry guys, I gotta first take care of the channel members. So Abby, Visa, any others? APP. All right, I think that's it. All right, so I got Abby, Visa, APP, and then we'll get into some of the stuff there. So Abby, just a tremendous healthcare name, man. I wouldn't be Mr. TNT. I wouldn't look to trade this thing. I would just buy shares of this thing and forget about it. Did I not have? Oh, I forgot about Tesla. That's right. I would just buy shares of. Of Abby and forget about it. That's really all that I would say. I mean, you could wait for some pullbacks here if you want. It's definitely breaking this high. But personally, a stock like AbbVie, that's a dividend stock. That's a great stock. It goes up and provides a dividend. That's what I'd be doing. Tesla, yeah, I forgot to go over Tesla. So Tesla, pullback, holding here at this trend line, 680, 670, 680 area. You just got to hold this trend line, and you got to hold the 100 and the 50. That's it. You held the 50 and 100 yesterday. If you close below these moving averages and this trend line, that's going to be in some trouble. So watch that. Maybe you get a bounce back towards the 20 today, around 680s. I would watch 680s as resistance, right around this 20 SMA, and then watch for that push higher to 700. So yeah, sorry, quick on Tesla. Just want to go over some of the stuff here. So Visa. Visa's a good, thanks for calling Visa out. Visa's another one that's sort of on its way, maybe back off the 100. Nothing really has changed here since we last looked at it. We looked at it yesterday. Really all that's changed is a small red day. Nothing that's too concerning. So I would continue to watch Visa for a bounce here off the 100. That's what I'd say. APP. What's this stock? I don't never traded the APP or know about it. So looks like it's a recent IPO. You have this probably pretty heavy support in this area, right around these lows from IPO lows, as well as this this low right here, this 55. Pretty nice push off that level, back above the 20 SMA. I would probably just be watching some of these previous highs, right? So highs. You have some highs, IPO highs right here. You have highs up here. So I would just be watching these highs as you move higher. 66, 69, 72, 75. Just watch those previous highs. See if you can start to break through them. That's what I'd be watching. Either way, though, very nice support here at previous support. Nice green daily candle reaction to it. Very big volume. and you're above the 20. So maybe you see if this thing can hold the 20 and start to sort of, create an uptrend. Maybe wait for a lower high to form. Yeah, we talked about Netflix. It's on here if you replay the live stream. Walmart. Me personally, I'm not touching Walmart until it pulls back to 148. That's all I have to say to you. 148. Wait for the pullback. If not, you'll miss the move. Or if you want, you can chase it. Me personally, I'm waiting for 148. That's Walmart. Isn't Hood earnings coming up? When's Hood earnings? Bank of America. Bank of America is just gonna be. It's gonna be just any other bank stock. Just see how bank stocks react to today's news. That's. I would not be touching. I would not be touching anything until you see how bank stocks react to today's news. That's what I'd have to say to you. Yesterday or last few days, they had some decent moves that didn't hold up. So you can see really big move on banks yesterday morning and just total destruction towards the end of the day, which is crazy. Look at that. JP Morgan moved higher, total destruction. Goldman Sachs moved higher, then big destruction. So I wouldn't touch banks until I see what today's news is. Next, Roku. Sorry guys, I'm not going to be able to take all your recommendations, all your chat or stocks you want to look at. If you want to get priority to that, you can go ahead and press that join button down below. The members get first priority to the names I look at. So here's Roku. I know one of you guys asked about it. I would just be, you had a little bit of a green confirmation day yesterday. I'd be waiting for a little bit more. Wait to see if this thing can get back above the 100 SMA. That's all I'd be waiting for. Watch that 100 SMA. Roblox actually held up really nicely yesterday, which was pretty crazy. Really crazy hold on Roblox yesterday, except, you're still in a pretty bad downtrend here. So wait for this downtrend to break, I would say, until you buy into Roblox. Watch for this downtrend to break. Water's wet. What is it? It's wet. Waters. So here's WAT. I don't know much about what they do. I know they're like a technology company in some sorts. I'm not sure. I think they create. I'm not sure exactly, but this is a crazy uptrend. I will tell you that. Maybe you wait for some of these small pullbacks to the 20. You get these pullbacks to the 20, and because of how strong of an uptrend it is, that would be a fantastic buying opportunity. So I have trouble buying a stock like this when it just continues to move higher with no pullbacks. Wait for at least a few red candles. You guys can see how, over this move, you get about 2 or 3 red candles in a row. So maybe wait for, this is actually very consistent. Look at this. This is like three red candles, 3 red candles, 3 red candles, 2 red candle pullback, 2 red candle pullback, 3, 2. So very consistent. So maybe you get one more red day here on WAT, which it looks like it's going to, and then you pick this up on a dip. That's what I'd be looking at. SoFi. Yeah, I'll go over Hood at the end. This is something I did not expect to see on SoFi. I will tell you the truth here. SoFi is dipping below this level here under 1475. Very interesting. Very, should be interesting to see where this goes. I'd be watching these previous highs. Excuse me. Right around 13. Look to see if that thing pulls back to 13. But I think I'm on the side of thinking that SoFi quickly recovers here and gets back above 1475.15. So I'd watch that. I'd watch to see if SoFi gets some crazy support under here and quickly recovers. But yeah, you definitely want to see this thing back above 15. mRNA. We talked about this yesterday. So if you're on the stream, we talked about, where is it? Hold on. It was on the, where the hell is it? Oh. Okay, yeah, that's right. It was bouncing off was it the 100? No, it was the 20. That's right. Okay. Yeah, so on the daily chart, my bad. So on the daily chart, So originally we were looking at some downside at mRNA, right? We were watching how these previous support levels were turning into resistance here. This was before this move yesterday. So you had this resistance that was here on mRNA. We got to move lower off of that. It was previous support turning into resistance. Now you can sort of say it's still holding as resistance now. So keep an eye on that level. It's definitely not over yet. So you got that slide lower. Now why did we get that push higher yesterday? The reason for that was we came back down and we held. Look at this hold at the 20 SMA, a very strong hold, and we bounced off of it. So this 20 SMA on the daily chart is definitely going to be coming, acting as some support. You got a little bit higher volume yesterday on this move higher, so keep an eye on that 20, on that mRNA move. The only thing I'd be watching if you're looking for downside is to see and to make sure that it holds below this 50 and around this 410, maybe even this 420 area. You don't want to see it get back above this level here, over 432. Apple, and then we'll go over hood, and that's going to be it, guys. So you have Apple, just a killer move here on Apple. Nice ascending triangle breakout. You got above 150, and we were talking in the chat about how important it was to see this thing maybe hold above 150. Now we are above it right now, and that is very, very good. So you can see yesterday's price action. We got above we got above 150 right here. We held it in the morning, and then we tried to get back to it, and we're sort of holding on to that 150 level. This level is going to be key. So I would definitely keep an eye on Apple, see if it can hold 150. If it can, that is a very nice break and retest. You guys can see right here. You have previous resistance. If it can hold 150 and it can bounce off of it, that is a beautiful break and retest on Apple, and I would definitely be interested in that play. So keep an eye on that. Last but not least, I have nothing really to say about Hood. I don't know enough about their company. I really don't care to learn about it. I know it sounds stupid to say that, but this is just not a play that I'm interested in right now. Definitely a nice little grind lower. Probably a lot of insiders selling their shares, which is causing this. Just a really slow move lower. Do I really want to get caught up in this this action? Not really. And I guess we'll just see what earnings does. If earnings does great, maybe you get this push back above 60. If you get that push back above 60, then maybe you get a nice little momentum move here. This 60 level has been tough. You can't get through it. If you get earnings to go through it, maybe you get the momentum move. The expected move on Hood is only it's only $3.3. This might not be a bad play for a strangle. I would consider that, actually. A strangle or a straddle, depending on how you like to play it, on Hood for earnings. It's only $3 expected move. It could move more. If it moves more, you make money. It doesn't matter the direction. So think about that. But yeah, that's Hood. I don't really... I know it's Robinhood, but I don't know how good they do. I don't know how good Robinhood does. I don't read their financials. So I don't know how much money they make. I don't know what their margins are. I just, I don't really care to be trading Robinhood. It's a little bit too meme for me right now. A little bit too meme for me at this time. Maybe it changes. I would hope it changes. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Once again, I got to give a quick shout out to MSI for sponsoring the stream here. Thank you guys so much. Hooking it up with some really badass equipment, mouse and keyboard, and the Trident X system, which has a 2080 Super. That's a pretty damn good graphics card. So very, very happy. Thank you so much to MSI for sending that out, and shout out to them. If you guys want any of their products, they are down below in the description. Thank you to everyone that is here, and a big thank you to everyone that donated today. Really, really appreciate that. That is just awesome. And, eventually I want to find a good way to somehow, group up the people that come here in the live streams, because I think it's very consistent. So I don't know if I need to create like a list or like a email list or something and just sort of give back to you guys for being here. But I'll think of something. So thank you guys once again. Thank you guys for being here. If you could, press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. If you're here and you're not subscribed, consider it. That would really help out. Help me grow this channel. Help me continue to do what I'm doing. So thank you guys again. Let's see what happens today at 2 o'clock. Going to be a very, very interesting time. Going to be very volatile, so please play it safe. Don't go into it with, your whole account in a call option or a whole account in a put option. That's just not the way to do it. So be safe. Tomorrow's another day. The continuation move is there. You don't have to play today. So be safe and, one of the best communities. Hopefully one day I want to try to collaborate with the cult, the boys over at the cult. So hopefully one day we can get some notice from Mr. Answers, and we can somehow do something, because I think I love what he's doing, and I definitely share a mindset with him. So maybe one day he'll notice us. So if you guys could, maybe you can help facilitate that. So with that said, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great Wednesday, and I will see you in the next stream, guys. Peace out.